Preparing for the general aptitude section, that is part A of CSIR Net Life Science exam, can be challenging. However, with a strategic study plan, one can easily crack this section and score well in the exam. So in this video, you will discover the effective strategies to enhance your preparation and learn how to tackle the questions with confidence. Part A of CSIR Net Life Science exam contain questions pertaining to general aptitude, with emphasis on logical reasoning, graphical analysis, analytical and numerical ability, quantitative comparison, series formation, puzzles, etc. This section consists of total of 20 questions. However, only 15 questions need to be attempted out of 20. And each question from this section carries 2 marks. Thus, the total marks allotted for Part A are 30. Also, negative marking is applicable at a rate of 25%. So, what are the effective strategies to enhance your preparation for CSIR Net Part A? The very first strategy is brush up on your mathematics. Review fundamental maths concepts to build a strong foundation for solving problems effectively. Second, improve your analytical skills. Enhance your logical reasoning and problem-solving abilities to tackle complex questions efficiently. Third, improve time management skills. Develop time management strategies to allocate sufficient time to each question and avoid unnecessary stress. Fourth, remember important formulas. Memorize the key formulas and shortcuts to save time and increase accuracy during the exam. Fifth, practice more and regularly. Consistent practice helps reinforce concepts, identify weak areas, and improve overall performance. And sixth, improve speed and accuracy. Focus on solving questions quickly and accurately to maximize your score and minimize errors. So now let's have a look at the type of questions asked from this section and let's understand the strategies to solve them. In CSIR Net Life Science exam Part A section, you often get questions based on time and work or time and distance. So here is a sample question based on time and work. If a machine A and B can produce 1100 units in 9 hours and 12 hours respectively, in how many hours can machine A and B working together at these constant rates produce 1100 units? The problems on work is a topic that involves calculating the amount of work done by a person or a machine. To study this topic, one should focus on solving problems related to the time taken to complete a task and the efficiency of a person or machine. So to solve this question, the concept used here is of work rate, which is the amount of work done per unit of time. So let's solve this question step by step. The very first step is we will find the work rate for each machine. So as machine A and B is used, so first of all we'll find the work rate of machine A by using the formula total work by total time. So as mentioned in the question, the total work is 1100 units and total time for machine A is 9 hours. So when you solve it, we'll get 122.22 units per hour. Similarly, we'll solve for work rate of machine B by using the same formula. However, the time taken by machine B is 12 hours. So on solving, we'll get 91.67 units per hour. The next step is we'll calculate the combined work rate of machine A and machine B. So we'll use the formula work rate of machine A plus work rate of machine B. That is 122.22 units per hour. And work rate of machine B is 91.67 units per hour. On adding both, we'll get 213.89 units per hour. Then next step is we'll calculate the time it takes for both machines to produce 1100 units. So as we know, time is equals to total work by combined work rate. Substituting the values, total work 1100 units and combined work rate is 213.89 units per hour. So on solving, we'll get 36 by 7 hours. So machine A and B working together at these constant rates can produce 1100 units in approximately 36 by 7 hours. And therefore option 1 is the answer. Another topic from which the questions are most frequently asked in part A section of CSIR Net Life Science exam is probability. Probability is a topic that involves calculating the likelihood of an event occurring. So let's see a sample question based on this topic. What is the probability of getting a sum of 7 when rolling 2 dice? To study this topic, one should focus on solving problems related to finding the probability of an event and using probability to calculate the expected value. So as mentioned in this question, we have to look for the probability of getting a sum of 7 when rolling 2 dice. The formula to calculate probability is favorable outcomes by total number of outcomes. So as we all know that in a dice there are total 6 faces and on every face a number is written on it. So 6 faces of dice has a number written from 1 to 6. So to solve this question, first of all we'll calculate the total number of possible outcomes and then we'll calculate the favorable outcomes. So as mentioned earlier, on dice there are 6 faces and on every face has a number written on it, that is from 1 to 6. So total number of possible outcomes are 36. Then let's calculate favorable outcomes. To get a sum of 7, when we are rolling the 2 dice, the dice should show the combination in such a way that we should get a sum of 7. For example, if we roll the 2 dice, one dice shows number 1 and another dice shows number 6, then 6 plus 1 totals 7. Similarly, if one dice shows number 2, another shows 5, then 5 plus 2 gives 7. Then another combination can be one dice showing number 3, another showing 4, or one showing 4, another showing 3, or one showing 5, another showing 2. So when we add them, we'll get 7 only. Or 6, one dice showing number 6, another showing number 1. So 6 plus 1 gives 7. So here we can see there are total 6 outcomes, 6 possible outcomes that result in a sum of 7. Therefore, the probability of getting a sum of 7 when 2 dice are thrown is, putting the values in the formula, that is the favorable outcomes, which is 6, divided by total number of possible outcomes, that is 36, and on solving we'll get 1 by 6. So answer is option 4 here. Then another topic is data analysis. Data analysis is a topic that involves analyzing the data and drawing conclusions from it. So as you can see here, a sample question from data analysis. The bar chart shows number of seats won by 4 political parties in a state legislative assembly. So this is the bar chart and we have to find out that which of the following pie charts correctly depicts this information. So first of all, how to study this topic? To study this topic, you should focus on solving problems related to bar graphs, pie charts and line graphs. In exam, you can get a question where a bar graph or line graph is given and based on that some statements or some data is given. So it can be a calculation based question where you have to do some calculations by analyzing the chart given and based on that you have to find the most appropriate answer. So let's learn the strategy of solving such type of question. So first we'll analyze the bar chart given in this question carefully. We all can see that on y-axis the number of seats are given, and on x-axis party is given. So that there are 4 political parties, and the seats won by party 1 is 50, seats won by second party is 35, by third party is 20, and by fourth party is 35. So first we'll calculate the total number of seats, which we can do by adding the seats won by the parties. So we'll get 140. Now we'll calculate, the second step is we will calculate the contribution of each party. So let's calculate the contribution of first party. We'll calculate it in percentage. So first party won 50 seats out of 140. So we'll multiply with 100 as we have to calculate the value in percentage. So we'll get 35.7%. Then we'll calculate the contribution of second party. Also we can see that the fourth party and the seats won by second and fourth party are same. So the contribution is 35 by 140 into 100, and this gives 25. And then we'll calculate the contribution of third party, which is the 20 seats, 1 out of 140, and we'll get 14.2%. Now if we analyze the options, answer cannot be option 1 because the pie chart given in option 1 shows 50% contribution by one of the party. So none of the parties shows 50% contribution, and that is why answer cannot be option 1. Similarly, answer cannot be option 3 because the pie chart given in option 3 shows the equal contribution by all the 4 parties, which we are not getting in our case. Then answer can be between, this means that answer can be between option 2 and 4. So as second and fourth party contribution is 25%, which is equal, so this equal contribution is shown in option 2 only and not in option 4. So that is why answer here is option 2, where the first party shows contribution of 35.7, second shows contribution of 25%, third party contribution is 14.2%, and fourth party contribution is again 25%. Then another topic from where the questions are most frequently asked in part A of CSIR Net Life Science exam is profit and loss. So here is a sample question. A shopkeeper buys a shirt for rupees 600 and sold for rupees 500. Find the loss percent. Now in the exam, profit percent can also be asked. So to solve such type of questions, you need to memorize the formulas, that how to calculate profit percent, how to calculate loss percent, how to calculate simply the loss or the profit, like selling price minus cost price gives the profit, right? Then profit percentage can be calculated like profit by cost price into 100. Also, you need to clearly understand the relationships between cost price, selling price, profit and loss. So as in this question, we have to find the loss percent. So we have to use the formulas, that is of loss percent, which is given by loss by cost price into 100, and the formula for calculating the loss, which is given by cost price minus selling price. So as given in the question, cost price is rupees 600 and selling price is rupees 500. So we'll first calculate the loss. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, the loss is calculated by subtracting the selling price from the cost price. Cost price given is 600 and selling price is 500. So loss is of rupees 100. Then next we'll calculate the loss percent, which is given by loss by cost price into 100. So loss is 100 and cost price given is 600 into 100, and on solving we'll get 16.6%. Therefore, the loss percent is 16.6%. And therefore, the answer is option 1. The next topic is sequence and series. Sequence and series is a mathematical concept that involves identifying patterns in the series of numbers or alphabets. To study this topic, one should focus on solving numerical problems related to arithmetic, geometric, and harmonic progression. So let's have a look at the sample question based on this topic. What comes next in the series? So a picture is given and we have to analyze this picture and we have to find out that what comes next in the series. So the trick of solving such type of question is to identify the pattern in the given series. So if you look at the given picture carefully, the given picture sequence is the upper part of letters A, B, C and D. Thus the next picture in the sequence should be of the upper part of letter E, which is given in option 3. And therefore answer here is option 3. The next topic is geometry of shapes. Geometry of shapes is a topic that involves identifying and analyzing different shapes and their properties. So how to study this topic? To study this topic, one should focus on solving problems related to properties of different shapes like circle, triangle, and rectangles and more. Even sometimes question on directional geometry is also asked. Directional geometry is a topic that involves identifying and analyzing the direction and position of object in space. So here I have included a question, sample question based on geometry of shape, which is the sum of all the internal angles of a hexagon in degrees is. So to answer this question, you need to be familiar with what is a hexagon and how to calculate the internal angles, sum of internal angles of a hexagon. So hexagon is basically a polygon with 6 sides. An internal angle is an angle which is measured between the 2 adjacent sides of a polygon. So here, as we have to calculate the sum of internal angles of a polygon, so we can use the formula n minus 2 into 180 degree. So n is the number of sides. So for a hexagon, as we know, n is 6. So if we substitute the values in the above formula, we'll get the sum of internal angles of polygon as, so n is 6 here. So on solving, we'll get 720 degree. So the sum of internal angles of hexagon is 720 degree, which is given in option number 3. Then questions on basic science or scientific facts are also often asked. Basic science is a topic that involves testing a hypothesis through experiments and observations, whereas in scientific facts, some facts are given and we have to find out whether the facts given are correct or incorrect. So here is a question based on scientific fact. We have to pick the correct statement. The sky is blue because Sir C.V. Raman gave the correct explanation. Statement B is Copernicus believed that the sun and not the earth was at the center of the solar system. Statement C is the sky appears blue when seen from the moon. And statement D is no solar eclipse is visible for an astronaut standing on the moon. So we have to go through each statement one by one. So statement A is incorrect because the blue color of the sky is due to Rayleigh scattering. And when sunlight enters Earth's atmosphere, it collides with the molecules and small particles scattering in all directions. Blue light have shorter wavelength and it's scattered more than other colors, making the sky appear blue. But Sir C.V. Raman is known for discovering the Raman effect, which involves the scattering of light, but it is not directly related to the color of the sky. So therefore statement A is incorrect. Then statement B, Copernicus believed that the sun and not the earth was at the center of the solar system. This statement is correct. So Nicolaus Copernicus proposed the heliocentric model in his work. So on the revolutions of the celestial spheres, published in 1543. So this model posited that the sun is at the center of the universe, specifically the solar system and the earth, along with other planets, orbits around it. Then statement C, the sky appears blue when seen from the moon. Now this statement is again incorrect. The moon lacks an atmosphere, which means that there are no molecules to scatter sunlight. As a result, the sky appears black when viewed from the moon, even during the lunar day when the sun is shining. And statement D, no solar eclipse is visible for an astronaut standing on the moon. This statement is incorrect. An astronaut on the moon can witness a solar eclipse. From the moon's perspective, a solar eclipse occurs when the earth passes between the moon and the sun, casting a shadow on the moon's surface. And this event is called a lunar eclipse from the earth's perspective, but involves the earth obscuring the sun from the moon's perspective. Therefore, an astronaut on the moon would see the earth moving in front of the sun during this event. So answer here is option B, as we have to pick the correct statement. Then questions on quadratic equations are also asked. Quadratic equation is a topic that involves solving equations of the form ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. Now, how to study this topic? To study this topic, one should focus on solving problems related to finding the roots of quadratic equations, using the quadratic formula, or completing the square method. So here is one sample question given. We have to solve this equation. Now, the trick here is to use the quadratic formula to solve the equation. So this is the formula that you all have to learn and recall while solving questions based on quadratic equations. So as given in the question, A is 2, B is 5 and C is minus 3. So we'll substitute the values in the formula. So B is 5, A is 2 and C is minus 3. So when we substitute the values, we'll get following equation. So we'll solve it. So first of all, we'll solve the under root part. So it will be minus 5 plus and minus under root. So 5 square, 5 whole square, that means 25. And here it is minus 6, when 2 multiplied by 3 minus 6 and 6 multiplied by 4, that is 24, and minus is plus. Divided by 4. And we'll get, on solving, minus plus and minus under root. So 25 plus 24 gives 49 by 4. So under root 49 is 7. So minus 5 plus and minus 7 by 4. So on simplifying this equation, we'll get minus 5 plus and minus 7 by 4. So we can write down this plus and minus like separately, minus 5 plus 7 by 4 and minus 5 minus 7 by 4. So we'll write the equation separately. So on solving, we'll get, so minus 5 plus 7 is 2 by 4. And on further simplifying, we'll get 1 by 2. And here we'll get minus 5 minus 7, so we'll add them and sign up the bigger number. So minus 12 by 4, and that gives minus 3. So on solving, we'll get x equals to half or 0.5 and x minus 3. So such type of questions are asked in the exam. Also questions on moving object dynamics, permutation, combination, clock and calendar, year, week and days can also be asked in the exam, in the party section of CSIR Net Life Science exam. So in conclusion, to prepare effectively for this section, it is important to understand the concepts and formulas related to each topic and practice solving problems using smart techniques and shortcuts. For details about this topic, you can always refer to our Biotechnica videos. Thank you.